With their arrival of Cy Young Award winner Paul Skenes, Pirate fans have reason to hope again. However, major market teams like the Yankees and Dodgers have already made inquiries towards Skenes' trade availability. It seems like after just 2 years in the bigs, the baseball world has all but concluded that Skenes will eventually leave Pittsburgh for greener pastures when ownership decides not to pay him what he's worth. And with how often that's occurred, who can blame them? But today, we do things differently. Today, we will be keeping Paul Skenes in Pittsburgh, we will be building a team that can compete in the NL Central, and we will give Yinzers the team and the success that they deserve. What is up, guys? Welcome back into the channel. I'm Brandon Satterwhite, and today we are back with the Pittsburgh Pirates rebuild here on MLB The Show 26. This is one of the most requested teams to do a rebuild with so far, and I can definitely see why. This is a very interesting team with some young talent, some high upside, and a franchise that really hasn't had much success like we saw in the intro for like the last almost 50 years at this point. Let's take a look at the roster here, and it all starts with the starting pitching. Of course, Paul Skenes, won his first Cy Young last year in 2025, came up in 2024. Both years has just been incredibly dominant, like just insane start to his career at just 23 years old, the #1 pick back in 2023. We've got 3 more years of arbitration with him. He's just so good. 99 overall. I mean, someone that we really want to build this team around. And thankfully, we have some other young pitchers alongside Skenes to help do that. First up, we have Bubba Chandler. He's the #2 Pirates prospect, #13 overall prospect. Looks really good. A great fastball, really good Ks per 9, really good home runs per 9. As you can see, also only 23 years old, A potential. Pitched a little bit last year, but this will be his first full season. We've got him on team control for a very long time. Hopefully he progresses and becomes a really solid #2 behind Skenes. Also alongside him, we have Jared Jones at 24 years old, also a 78 overall. Like Chandler and Skenes, he has a really good fastball. The home runs per 9 is a little bit lower. The control's good. The hits per 9 is good. The K per 9 against righties is a bit low. But like I said, 24 years old, was really good in 2024. Missed 2025. Hopefully he can come back and be just as good. Like Skenes, we have 3 years of arbitration with him after this year. And then we've got some other guys like Carson Fulmer, who, just hasn't ever really been a full-time starter. He's been mostly a reliever. Was not good with the Angels last year. He'll probably be the long reliever out of the pen. Mitch Keller's a very good veteran pitcher, 29 years old, had a really good season back in 2023 where he had over 200 strikeouts. Last couple of years haven't been as good, but a very good mid-rotation guy, innings eater. He's making $15 million a year, so if he doesn't perform well, we could look to trade him possibly. And then down here, we've got some other guys. We've got Seth Hernandez, the first-round pick last year for the Pirates, #3 prospect in their organization, #25 overall prospect. Just kind of hoping he develops a little bit more and can be, a really good piece behind Skenes, Chandler, and Jones. I mean, if all 4 of these guys pan out, that's a super solid rotation. This is going to be this might be one of those few rebuilds where starting pitching isn't something we're having to go out and look for constantly, which would be really nice. Now, the bullpen is a different story. The bullpen, as you can see here, just doesn't look great. I mean, outside of Dennis Santana, who is a really good closer, actually wasn't the closer most of the year last year for the Pirates because of Bednar, but, pitched amazingly last season. He is a free agent after this year, so, if we're not doing well, we may look to see, if we can get some value back for him, or if we want to extend him, but at 29 years old, only an 81 overall, not sure how much I'm willing to invest into him. At catcher, you have Joey Bart, who, has never really played, a full season, but I'm interested to see how he does there. You also have guys like Andy Rodriguez and Henry Davis behind him, but I feel like catcher might be a position we look to improve on early, especially if we can draft one high up in one of these early drafts. Over at first base, we have Ryan O'Hearn, who, if I remember correctly, we got in the Rockies rebuild. We signed him and he was 85, 86 overall. He starts out as a 79 overall, so at 32 years old, maybe he progresses a little bit here, but I really like him. I think he's a good starting first baseman to start off this rebuild. build. We also have Spencer Horwitz, who's really good against righties. He's going to be a platoon DH for us to start things off. Brandon Lowe, who, comes over after, a lot of really good years with Tampa Bay, hit 31 homers in 2025, had a 784 OPS. He's really, really good, has that power bat against righties. He is a free agent after this year, so again, could be someone we look to either extend or possibly trade at the deadline. At third base, we have Jared Triolo here, who's like a really good defender, but the bat isn't great. So what we're probably going to do is we are going to have Connor Griffin starting immediately at 19 years old, a potential first-round pick in 2024, already a 74 overall in the live roster. He's going to be our starting shortstop, and we're going to have Nick Gonzalez play third because he's a really good defender, but also has really good contact vision and clutch. The power is not there, but I don't really care about the power for right now. Eventually we're going to upgrade that position anyways with probably someone better, but I think this is a good starting point for us at third, and then Triolo will be like a backup infielder that can pretty much be a utility guy. In the outfield, we have Jake Mangum, really good contact vision and clutch, great speed, great fielder. He's going to be a good starting left fielder for us. We have Marcell Ozuna, who is going to be our primary DH throughout this, at least first year or two. He is 35 years old, definitely not, going to be as good as he was in 23 and 24 with the Braves, but, if he can play, like he did in 25, 21 homers, a 755 OPS, I'm down for that. I think he's on a 1-year deal. Yeah, 1 year, 12 mil deal. Oneil Cruz is an interesting one because at sometimes he looks like he's, this great power hitter, but I mean, that contact against lefties is so bad. He's so bad against left-handed pitching. But he's got great speed. He can steal bases with the best of them. We've got 2 more years of team control on him. He was just so bad at the plate last year. 676 OPS. He's not a great defender, especially at short. He's better in the outfield, but still not like amazing. So I don't know. He's another guy that I think we may look to move at some point. And then you've got Brian Reynolds, who's been with the Pirates forever, it feels like. I remember back in like 21, 22 when there were a lot of rumors that the Yankees were trying to trade for him. And the Pirates actually did extend him, and they gave him like a pretty decent contract extension. 13 mil a year through 2031 is really, really good for, the Pirates, who basically never extend anybody. And he's been incredibly consistent for them, ever since then. And we'll just kind of see how he continues to do, really good switch hitter, only 31 years old. So he could, progress a little bit more possibly. But I am interested to see how long he stays in our long-term plans here. The lineup going into Season 1 against right-handed pitching, we'll have Oneil Cruz leading off, followed by Ozuna, Brandon Lowe, Ryan O'Hearn, Brian Reynolds in right, Spencer Horwitz at first, as O'Hearn will play left, Nick Gonzalez at third, Connor Griffin at short bats 8th, and then Joey Bart at catcher batting 9th. Against left-handed pitching, it completely changes up. Brian Reynolds moves into that leadoff spot, Ozuna and Lowe stay put, Bart moves up into cleanup, O'Hearn moves over to first as Mangum goes out into left, Nick Gonzalez at third, Connor Griffin at short, and then Oneil Cruz in center bats 9th. Pitching rotation, we've got Skenes, Keller, Jones, Chandler, and then Ashcraft. And then here's what the bullpen looks like. As I said, not great. But we do have Dennis Santana at least, so hopefully it's not terrible. Let's go ahead and start simulating and see how we do here in Season 1. All right, at the All-Star break of Season 1, Shota Imanaga is starting for the National League. 13-1, has a 1.75 ERA, so he's doing really good. Skenes is also having a very good season. 9-5 record, 123 innings, 147 strikeouts, a 2.48 ERA, put up 4 WAR already on the season. And Dennis Santana's also here. 38 games, 28 saves, only 2 blown saves, 38 innings, 28 strikeouts, a 1.16 ERA, 0.8 WAR. The 2 of our really good pitchers made it. Did any of our hitters make the All-Star team? Marcell Ozuna is here, which is interesting. He does really, really good in simulation in this game. 97 games, 26 home runs already this season, a 301 average, 941 OPS. He's put up 3 WAR as our DH, and he is our only hitter that makes the All-Star team. So we're 4 games games back of the Cubs in the Central right now, and we currently are 3 games up on the Mets for the final NL wildcard slot. Okay, for some reason, Felix Bautista is down in the minors for the Orioles, so I'm going to try and trade for him. And I'm trying to see who I could give up. They want young starters. I mean, I'll give you like this 23-year-old, 68 overall C potential starter. They want center field. I don't want to give you O'Neill Cruz for him, but I'll give you like this guy here. I'll give you those two for a guy you've just got sitting in the minors for no reason. So the Orioles accepted that. If you're handing out deals like this, we're absolutely accepting. So we just got a really, really good reliever with a couple more years of team control. We'll move him to just a general relief pitcher, put him on the 40, and move him up. Looking at our draft picks this year, not as good as I had hoped. Our first round pick, this left fielder, 19 years old, 84 potential. The catcher we took also in like the compensation round, 78 potential. Got a couple of guys here with decent potential. There's a starter here with 98 potential, but overall not a great draft from us. Let's see what happened around the league. This was a first baseman I was really looking at. He has 89 potential, 21 years old, really good bat. I really wanted him. We probably would have taken him if he had fallen to us. I think he got taken like 1 or 2 picks before us. Left fielder for the Angels has 8 potential. Overall, just not a great draft class, it looked like. Interesting. Also, at this point, I am going to try and extend Dennis Santana. I'm going to pay him, he wants 12 mil a year for 5 years. Honestly, I mean, with how good he is, it's 84 overall now. He's just going to get better. I'm gonna give him that contract. And then Brandon Lowe has also been really, really good. 97 games, 21 homers, 872 OPS. He's put up 3.6 WAR. He wants 12 mil for 5 years. I can do like years 30, actually 3 years 40. We'll do that. Skenes, he's got arbitration, but he's willing to take 4 years 30 mil. I think I may just keep him in arbitration for now. Felix Bautista has arbitration. O'Neill Cruz has arbitration. Gregory Soto, he's a free agent after this year. He's actually been really, really good. 46 innings, only 5 earned runs. How is that even possible for 74 overall? What's he want to come back? He wants 4 mil a year. Give you 3 years, 15 mil. No, okay, we'll give him that in the offseason. Ozuna, I mean, he was an all-star this year. He wants 7 mil. We'll see about that in the offseason. I think we're done with extensions. We do have the lead now after the trade deadline. We're up to the 17th best team in baseball. Let's simulate the rest of the season, see how we do to end season 1. All right, end of season 1. We won 89 games, made the postseason as a wild card team. We'll be taking on Arizona in the wild card round. We are the 5th seed. Let's go take a look at how the team did this year. So O'Neill Cruz played 150 games for us, 29 doubles, 20 homers, still only a 223 average, 296 on base, 707 OPS. Did put up 3.3 WAR in center, only 2 errors in center field. So he's playing better defensively, which is good. He's up to an 82 overall. Overall, not bad for him. Marcell Ozuna, man, 162 games, 27 doubles, 35 homers, a 266 average, 843 OPS, 2.8 WAR. Phenomenal year for him on the 1-year deal. Brandon Lowe also had a really good year, 141 games, 32 doubles, 31 homers, 96 RBIs, 858 OPS, 4.9 WAR. Ryan O'Hearn, a bit of a disappointing season for him. He's all the way up to an 82 overall. Did have 25 doubles, but only 15 homers, 75 RBIs, a 767 OPS. I was hoping for more like 25 or so homers, less than 1 WAR. Not sure how I feel about that. Brian Reynolds out and right was really good, up from an 81 to an 84, so he progressed a good bit this year. Contact against lefties went up from 75 to 85. Good grief. He played 147 games, 39 doubles, 18 homers, 61 RBIs, 779 OPS. Negative WAR. Interesting. Out and right. 11 errors in right field this year. Interesting. Strikeout percentage is way down. Interesting that he has a negative WAR. I guess his fielding's just really, really bad now. Spencer Horwitz played 114 games for us, hit 17 homers, had a 806 OPS and 2 WAR on the year. Went up from a 74 to a 71 to a 74. Nick Gonzalez goes up from a 72 to a 77. I mean, look at the power jump as well. I mean, overall, just a really good season for Nick Gonzalez. 139 games, 21 41 doubles, 15 homers, a 706 OPS, puts up 2.6 WAR over there at third. How old is he? He's 26. He's probably going to go into next season as our starting third baseman, it looks like. Connor Griffin, his rookie year went all right, not great. 136 games, 26 doubles, 14 homers, a 231 average, 684 OPS, 1.7 WAR. Did progress up from a 74 to a 79. Some really big jumps, especially with power against lefties, fielding ability, contact against righties. Contact against lefties actually went down to. Overall, really happy with how he's progressing. And Joey Bart, up from a 74 to a 78. The contact against lefties went up big. The power against lefties went up big. 133 games for him, 12 doubles, 18 homers, 800 OPS, 4.1 WAR behind the dish. Jared Triolo, as our utility infielder, played 78 games, had 10 homers, a 725 OPS. Jake Mangum, as our other outfielder, went up from a 73 to a 75. Played in 94 games, 293 average, 773 OPS, 1.2 WAR. Take a look at the rotation. Paul Skenes was amazing again this year. 14-9 record, 200 innings, 235 strikeouts, a 2.87 ERA, puts up 6 WAR. Did he win another Cy Young award? He did not, but he did make his third straight All-Star appearance. Mitch Keller did all right, went up from a 77 to a 79, had a 10-11 record, 183 innings, only 115 strikeouts, 4.27 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 0.7 WAR. Just didn't have the strikeouts that he's had the last few years. Definitely think he could be a trade candidate here in the offseason. Jarrett Jones did all right, 11-7 record, 164 innings, 117 strikeouts, 4.28 ERA, 1.4 WAR, 1.4 WHIP, but he did progress a good bit from a 78 to an 81. Bubba Chandler in his first big league season, not great. 148 innings, 126 strikeout, but an ERA near 5. 1.3 WAR, did progress up to an 81 overall. Braxton Ashcraft was all right as the fifth starter. Nothing too impressive there. Hunter Barco as the long reliever pitched in 16 games. You see how we did as the bullpen. Felix Bautista progressed a little bit, pitched in 44 games for us, had a 53 strikeouts in 41 innings, a 3.7 ERA. Not bad pickup there. Carson Fulmer did really good out of the pen. A 2.65 ERA in 74 innings. Gregory Soto also phenomenal. Only gave up 14 earned runs in 67 innings. Just insane. And then Dennis Santana, we already saw how amazing he was. 49 saves, only 2 blown saves, an ERA under 1. Had 1.6 WAR. Should have won Delivery Man of the Year, and he did. And that's why he earned that big fat contract extension we signed him to, up from an 81 to an 85 overall, and probably going to hit 90 overall within this simulation, I figure. As you can see, we finished just one game back of the Cubs for the NL Central. Finished way back of the Diamondbacks, who won 97 games, but the Dodgers won 112 to take the NL West. League leaders, Paul Skenes led the league in strikeouts and pitching WAR. Who led in home runs? It was Ohtani with 51. Rooker had 48. Cal Raleigh had 47. Kyle Tucker had 46. Judge had 43. Any awards? We got Delivery Man of the Year for Dennis Santana. Connor Griffin gets NL Rookie of the Year, which is nice. Beats out Nolan McLean, who honestly probably should have won it. 186 strikeouts, a 3.53 ERA. I think he should have won it over Connor Griffin. Brandon Lowe gets a Silver Slugger over at second. And taking a look at the top prospects, our top prospect now is Seth Hernandez at number 12. He went up from a 66 to a 70 overall this year. We also have Edward Florentino, went up from 63 to 66 overall. Tamar Johnson went from 64 to 68. We saw Hunter Barco went from 67 to 71. And then Thomas Harrington went from 65 to 67 overall. Let's go ahead and hop into these playoffs. We got a 3-game set here against the Diamondbacks, who, like we said, won 97 games this year. We've got Skenes versus Gallen for game 1. We lose that one 5-1. Now we've got Mitch Keller against Corbin Burns. We win. And now Jared Jones against Brandon Pfaadt. We win that. So we're going to be moving on to face the Pirates. And I am going to put Bubba Chandler in the bullpen for the playoffs and just have our 4 best guys, just because Chandler didn't have a very good season. Dodgers, we've got Braxton Ashcraft against Shohei Ohtani, game 1 of this 5-game set. We lose 4-5. Now Skenes versus Yamamoto, we lose 5-8. Mitch Keller against Blake Snell, we lose, so we get swept by the Dodgers in the NLDS, but not a bad performance here in year 1 as the Yankees beat the Phillies in the World Series. Let's on to the offseason as Mike Clevenger and Chris Davinsky both retire for us. Verlander retires, Liam Hendricks retires, Andrew McCutchen retires as a member of the Rangers. Huge regression there for him. Verlander goes into the Hall of Fame. We have 2 guys to negotiate with here. I do want to make offers to both of these guys. I'm going to go 2 years, 12 mil for Soto, and then probably 1 year, 9 mil for Marcell Ozuna. All right, so Ozuna's coming back for another year. We'll see if he's able to do what he did last year. Okay, interesting trade here. Isak Paredes and Josh Hader and Bennett Souza, so 3 like really good players for 4 C potentials. Fun. Ooh, Taylor Ward's a now or never. I do kind of want him, especially since it's just a 2-year deal he's looking for. I'll give him 23 and a half, 2 years. I doubt he comes here. Oh, he does. Okay, that is big. So that means I don't need Springer anymore. I can try and get Soto back for 1 more year, and that should be it for us for free agency, I think. All right, so Gregory Soto's back. Gave him a little bit more than I was wanting. 2 years, 6.7 mil. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's going to be it basically for us for this first year. We aren't in the lottery, that's right. So we won't be picking very high. All right, lineup going in. We have Brian Reynolds batting second, Brandon Lowe batting third, Taylor Ward out in left, bats fourth, Marcell Ozuna DHs again, bats fifth, Ryan O'Hearn at first all season long will bat sixth, Connor Griffin bats seventh, Nick Gonzalez back at third, bats eighth, and then Joey Bart catching, bats ninth. Only real changes is against the lefties, O'Hearn moves into the leadoff spot, and Mangum moves into center with O'Neal Cruz sitting because, yeah, he sucks lefties. Rotation, we've got Skenes, Bubba Chandler, Jared Jones, Mitch Keller, Carson Fulmer. Here is what bullpen looks like. Let's go ahead and start simulating and see how we do here in season 2. All right, y'all, we just pulled off a very unrealistic trade. I did not expect this to happen. I was more so testing things. But we just traded for Pete Alonso because, let's go see, Ryan O'Hearn has been awful as our first baseman this year. Actually, not terrible. He's kind of turned it around a bit, but he hasn't been good. So I traded for Pete Alonso from the Orioles, who's having a very good season, had a very good season last year. So that frees me up to trade O'Hearn, which I'm going to try and do now, and just see who wants first base. The Rangers do. Would the Rangers, though they're trying to get rid of Mackenzie Gore, would they give me him for O'Hearn straight up? I'm curious, because this is the thing. We are in a very winnable division, but we have been awful this year. Like, we have just played terribly. The rotation has not been great. Bubba Chandler has been terrible. Everyone else has been all right. The bullpen has been awful. Felix Bautista has an ERA of 8. Good grief. Yeah, the bullpen's been terrible. And lineup-wise, it actually hasn't been, like, awful. Like, we've got guys that are doing all right. Taylor Ward hasn't been playing great. Has a 734 OPS, but only a 228 average. Connor Griffin's been all right. We really need relievers. I really am interested to see if we can get Mackenzie Gore straight up for Ryan O'Hearn there. But I think we're going to send Felix Bautista down to AAA, and we're going to try to trade him as well. So that trade got rejected, so they don't want O'Hearn straight up. All right, All-Star break here in Season 2. There's no Paul Skenes here. Dennis Santana is here. 20 saves, 3 blown saves, still has an ERA under 2. That's it so far. And did anyone else make it? Pete Alonso's here after we traded for him from the Orioles. He's continuing to play very well. And Marcell Ozuna for the second year in a row makes it. He's got 25 homers, 297 average, 989 OPS. Crazy. Those are our 2 All-Stars. We're 9 games back. We've just been bad this year. We're 9 games below 500. We're 4 games back of the wild card. I mean, I blame the bullpen. The bullpen has just been freaking terrible, man. Like, it's just bad. I mean, it's insane. And I've tried trading for relievers, haven't been able to really, at least none that are performing well. So we finally got a trade to go through. We traded for Eric Lauer, who's a reliever. We traded away just some prospects that, you know, we don't really care about that much. And Dominic Fletcher was just kind of some depth. We got to get someone in the bullpen this year. And I think that's the only trade we're going to make, really, just because this season's kind of a wash at this point. Let's just get to the end of the season and go from there and try to come back next year with a better team. All right, a much better draft here in year 2. We got an 18-year-old right fielder with 92 potential, a 18-year-old catcher with 93 potential, and an 18-year-old starter with 92 potential as well. Had a couple of guys we couldn't sign, but overall, I'm very happy with these top picks. I believe this guy was the number 1 pick. I had him scouted, 95 potential, 75 overall already at 21 years old. He's going to be really, really good. It looks like this guy is a generational talent here for the Reds. 99 potential, 79 overall at 18 years old. Such a good player. Oh my gosh, he looks amazing. Let's finish simulating the season and see how season 2 ends up. It was not a good start to the season, so I don't expect us to make the playoffs. So we did better in the second half. We were able to finish above 500, 82 and 80, but that was not good enough to make the playoffs. We finished 8 games back of the Cubs in the NL Central, and then finished 5 back of the Mets for that last NL wildcard spot. Take a look at how everyone did this year. O'Neal Cruz did a lot better. Played in only 128 games, but 32 doubles, 26 homers, a 283 average, 893 OPS, 6.1 WAR. He took a huge step up, which makes me feel a lot better about keeping him around long term. I think he has 1 more year of arbitration, and then he's a free agent, so we may have to sign him long term. Marcell Ozuna, man, regressed down to a 72, but played all 162, 36 homers, 103 RBIs, 892 OPS, 3.7 WAR. He's just amazing in simulation. I don't know what the deal is, but I mean, there's no reason to not bring him back, I think, for another year. I mean, he's playing so good. Brandon Lowe hit 270 this year, 23 doubles, 23 homers, 813 OPS, and 3.7 WAR. Pete Alonso was amazing after we traded for him from Baltimore. 153 games, 25 doubles, 39 homers, 103 RBIs, 842 OPS, 1 WAR. Did have 22 errors at first. Yeah, his fielding at first is not great. Taylor Ward over and left did better than he did last year. Played 139 games, 18 doubles, 24 homers, 72 RBIs, 737 OPS. Actually put up negative WAR, which is not good. We are set to pay him another 23 mil next year. Oof, not happy about that. Brian Reynolds up to an 86 overall. Played 151 games, 30 doubles, 27 homers, 86 RBIs. Hit almost 300 with an 853 OPS and 3.8 WAR. Definitely improvement from last year. Connor Griffin, man, up from a 79 to an 83. Really starting to break out. 143 games, 29 doubles, 21 homers, 74 RBIs, a 787 OPS. Put up 4.8 WAR over at short. Nick Gonzalez, I mean, did not repeat the success he had last season. Still put up 26 doubles, but the average was down. The OPS is down a good bit. The WAR is down. We're definitely going to have to improve at third base. And then Joey Bart behind the plate. I mean, not bad, but I mean, we definitely could do better. The OPS dropped a good bit back to what it usually is for him. So yeah, I think catcher is a spot we're going to have to look to improve on. Ryan O'Hearn's going to be a free agent after this year. We're going to let him walk. 19 homers in 88 games. Did have an 806 OPS, but I think it's just time to move on from him. Let him go. Yeah, we're definitely going to be looking to make some changes here this year. I feel. Let's take a look at the rotation. Skenes was phenomenal, like always. I mean, 14 wins, 9 losses, 200 innings, 239 strikeouts, 2.86 ERA, 5.4 WAR. Probably was up there for Cy Young. He won the Cy Young this year again. So his second Cy Young at just 24 years old. Bubba Chandler was terrible for the second straight year. You know, just not good at all. 0.4 WAR. He's up to an 84 overall. He just does terribly in simulation. Like, the ratings are good, but he just is bad in simulation. I don't get it. Jared Jones was also not great. Mitch Keller was better than last year, but he's getting up there in years. 30 years old. He's about to go into the final year of his contract. We'll likely look to move him. Carson Fulmer was not good as the 5th starter, and then the bullpen, like we saw, was just awful. Braxton Ashcraft was bad. Felix Bautista was bad. Lauer was pretty good after we brought him over. Soto turned it around in the second half. Dennis Santana up to an 87 overall, had 44 saves this year. He get reliever of the year again. He did not, but he was an all-star this year. But I do blame the bullpen for being what killed us, and then also the rotation just not being great despite their high ratings. So not sure how to fix that, really. Kind of just have to run it back and hope that they do better as Goldie and Scherzer go into the Hall of Fame. We do have some guys here that we could try and bring back. I don't want O'Hearn back. Bart. He's really good against lefties. I think I may throw this at him, try to bring him back. Carson Fulmer, I have no interest in bringing back. And then Ozuna, 1 year, $7 million. We'll bring you back and let you DH again this year. Then we're going to fire basically our whole staff and just bring in all new guys. All right, I threw out a pretty big contract offer here. Doesn't look like we got the guy. He's still available at least. I am trying to get Adley Rutschman to be our catcher. I may need to make a trade to free up some money. Right now, don't have much to spend. All right, I had to offer a now or never on Adley Rutschman. Had to overpay a little bit. I don't know if we're gonna get him or not. No, we didn't. Okay, so we're gonna have to bring Joey Bart back. He signs with the Phillies. There is Garrett Clevenger and Eugenio Suarez. I don't want to give Clevenger a deal just because the bullpen was so bad, and that's like our #1 need this year. So we'll see if we can get him on this 3-year deal. If not, we'll just throw Suarez out there at third and see if that helps. Okay, we got Clevenger. That's good. Okay, so Yordan Alvarez is on the trade block. And so we can't get Ozuna back, but we can get rid of Mitch Keller's contract and as well as a couple of others and Felix Bautista as well. I'm going to do this because this is a huge bat to add to the lineup as our new DH since we can't get Ozuna back. And I think also it frees up a little bit of money for us if I'm correct. Yeah, so we have 11 mil to spend now. We need catcher, maybe third base. We could bring back Joey Bart, or we could try and go after Danny Jansen, who is, how old is he? Only 32. Do that, and then also, who are the third basemen out here? Max Muncy. Can he actually play third, though? Can. We'll throw both those out there, see if anyone's interested. Danny Jansen is interested. 2 years, we'll give you $9.5 million to sign here. Does he sign? No, he goes to the Nationals. Okay, in that case, we're going to have to go after Joey Bart because we have to have a catcher. Like, we just don't have one right now. And finally, Joey Bart re-signed, so he's coming back. He'll be our catcher this year. Gonna see if there's another trade I can try to make to clear some salary, but I don't really know where I can do that. Maybe Gregory Soto? Because we're paying Joey Bart $7.8 million a year. That's a lot for a catcher that's, like, not incredible. Also, Jared Triolo is a lot to pay backup utility guy when we've got, like, Nick York, Tamar Johnson, who can basically do the same thing. I'm going to offer these two and Jake Mancom. I got to go find a good, somewhat cheap starting pitcher. All right, going into season 3, we are the 5th ranked team in MLB. We made a lot of improvements. Looking at the lineup against righties, we're going to have O'Neal Cruz lead off, then Brian Reynolds hits second, Alvarez right behind him, Alonso cleans up, then Lau, Ward, Griffin, Gonzalez, and Bart. Against lefties, Reynolds leads off with Yordan behind him, and then Alonso, Ward, Griffin, a bit of a run of righties there against the lefty pitchers, then Lau, Bart, Cruz, and Gonzalez. We do have Johnny O'Reilly making his MLB debut this year. He was our first-round pick back in season 1. He's our number 8 prospect at this point. He has beat potential. He's at a 75 overall, really good against righties. Contacts there, the power is not great, but really good fielder. He's going to be a good backup outfielder for us. Hopefully he does well. Also, Tamar Johnson, getting his first run really full-time with the big league team, former top prospect. So there's the lineup. And then pitching wise, we've got Skenes, we've got Jones, we've got Chandler, Ashcraft, and then Seth Hernandez is making his big league debut, number 7 prospect, number 1 pick in 2025. So, and then here is the bullpen, much improved, I feel, at this point, especially with Clevenger, Lauer, Santana. I think that's a good pin to have. I'm hoping we do a lot better this year. I do not want to miss the playoffs for 2 years in a row. So let's start simulating and see how we do here in season 3. Okay, so we just kind of got offered a bit of a crazy trade. Riley Green and Aaron Savali from the Tigers for O'Neal Cruz and Mason Montgomery. So Mason Montgomery is not pitching well as a reliever for us. O'Neal Cruz is playing well. Like, he's still playing, you know, at like a 900 OPS level, but he's a free agent after this year. He is playing very well, but he still like can barely hit lefties. Riley Green, very balanced player, is down a little bit this year, but he's only 27, so he's 2 years younger than Cruz. He is a free agent after this year, just like Cruz is, but I'd be much more comfortable signing Riley Green long term than O'Neal Cruz. And also, I think Aaron Savali is a really good pitcher to add to our rotation or to the bullpen. So I'm going to accept this. We're going to move on from O'Neal Cruz. He is doing very well, but I think Riley Green is better long term for us. And what we can do is we can move Taylor Ward, play center. See, that's the thing, is none of these guys can really play center that well. Riley Green can play center technically. He only has 45 speed, but I think we're going to play him in center field since he has that secondary, and that's how that's going to look. Rotation, Bubba Chandler still is just pitching awful. Seth Hernandez is terrible, though. Good grief, an 8 ERA. He's got to go back down to the minors. All right, an 8 ERA through 11 starts. Yeah, you're going back down to the minors. I do not care. We'll bring up Bayless to go in the pin, and then we'll throw Aaron Savali in our rotation because he's been playing very well this year. Is he starting this year? He has not been starting. He's been coming out of the bullpen. He started last year for Detroit and was really bad, so we're just kind of hoping he does better this year. Bubba Chandler, man, I don't know what it is. Like, he's progressing. He's very highly rated. He just does not do well in simulation, and I don't know what it is that's causing him to do poorly in sim. But that is disappointing. I think we may just leave Riley Green leading off against, I think we may do it like this. I think that's how we'll rearrange these lineups. But we are doing well. We are leading the division at this point, so let's keep on simulating. All right, we're at the All-Star break here in Season 3. Let's go see if any of our guys made it this year. And Paul Skenes is here. He's still pitching phenomenally. I mean, just look at these numbers. I mean, it's insane how good he does in simulation, man. I don't see any. Oh, there's Dennis Santana making another All-Star appearance. He's up to a 90 overall. I mean, he is just insanely good as a reliever here. Eric Skubal, I guess I forgot. He went to Arizona. Jordan is here batting second. He's the starting left fielder. He's been hitting phenomenally already with 33 homers, 1.0 OPS, put up 5.1 WAR already this season. Anybody else here from our team? Doesn't look like it. So Jordan and Skenes are our two All-Stars, and Santana. And at this point, we're 13 games up, so we're probably going to win the NL Central and make it back to the playoffs this year. Let's go ahead and keep on simulating. So here's our draft class in year 3. Nothing like crazy. We do have a starter here with very high potential, 97 potential, a bunch of guys with B potential, so some decent prospects, but nothing too crazy. I did go ahead and sign Riley Green to an extension. I want to see how he's doing out in center. He's doing all right, actually, in center field. He's hitting well, not crazy. But I mean, he's still 27 years old, regressed, full points down actually this year, but we're going to be paying him just under 25 mil a year for the next 5 years. So he's actually going to make less money than he's making right now in his final year of arbitration. Taylor Ward has gone up from an 86 to an 87. He's getting better at 34 years old, which is really cool to see because usually, at this point in MLB The Show, they'd be falling off a cliff. But I guess, this year we really do have like some much improved regression logic because he's up to 31 homers, has a 932 OPS, which is his highest OPS, I think, of his career. Yeah. He's having a career year at 34 years old after a couple of really down years since we traded for him in a contract year. So I don't know if I'll end up bringing him back after this year. We'll have to wait and see on that. But let's go ahead and simulate the rest of this season and see how we finish up Season 3. All right, into Season 3, we won 107 games and won our division. We are the 2 seed in the National League. The Dodgers are the 1 seed. We won 107 games, won the division by 27 games over the Brewers, and the Dodgers won 110 games. Padres got a wild card with 83 wins. Okay, so it was a bit of a light year, not like a crazy competitive year in the National League, but good enough. Let's go see how everyone did this year. Riley Green regressed quite a bit, down from an 87 to an 84. Don't like seeing that, especially with us giving him, a fat contract extension. He got 30 doubles, 24 homers, 65 RBIs, a 750 OPS, 4 WAR, so he did well out in center. He's only 27 years old, so hopefully he can regress back up to where he was. Brian Reynolds had a really good year, went up from an 86 to an 87 at 33 years old, which is really cool to see. Usually you don't see guys getting better as they get older older like this. So that's really interesting because it seems like MLB The Show has finally addressed their regression issues. Ryan Reynolds played 156 games, 34 doubles, 6 triples, 33 homers, 97 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, and 817 OPS, put up 1.1 WAR out in right field. Yordan Alvarez was incredible, went up from a 96 to a 98 at 30 years old. He played all 162 games for us, 41 doubles, 54 homers. He now has over 300 career home runs, 119 RBIs, had a 319 average, a 1.063 OPS, put up 7.7 WAR at DH. Did he win any awards? He did. So he got MVP this year. Hank Aaron Award, was an All-Star, Silver Slugger, Home Run Champ. Just an all-around incredible year for Yordan. That's why we went and traded for him. That's also why we went and traded for Pete Alonso. 155 games over at first, 27 doubles, 37 homers, 112 RBIs. Alonso's now at 379 career home runs. Will likely pass 400 next season at a 781 OPS and .3 WAR. 21 errors over at first base. That seems like a lot. His feeling is just awful. I mean, that is insane. Brandon Lau over at second, 138 games, 25 doubles, 36 homers, 91 RBIs, had a 928 OPS, 5.5 WAR. Taylor Ward, a career year at 34 years old, went up from an 86 to an 88. We're probably going to have to try to bring him back next year. 152 games, 30 doubles, 44 homers, 118 RBIs, a 919 OPS, and 4.4 WAR. He is a free agent after this year. He won his first career Silver Slugger this year. Connor Griffin, a huge breakout year for him, went from an 83 up to an 89 overall, played 142 games, 22 doubles, 9 triples, 28 homers, 88 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, an 836 OPS, 3.6 WAR. Did he win any awards? No, he has not. Not this year, at least. Nick Gonzalez did his thing over at third, 145 games, 34 doubles, 17 homers, 769 OPS, 3.3 WAR. I'll take that. Joey Bart, we brought him back this year. 131 games, 23 doubles, 15 homers, 763 OPS, and 3.9 WAR behind the dish. Johnny O'Reilly in his rookie year progressed from a 75 up to a 78, played in 34 games, 7 doubles, 2 homers, a 685 OPS, .4 WAR. So he didn't really play a whole lot, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's go see how the rotation did. Paul Skenes was phenomenal again this year. 22 wins, 214 innings, 263 strikeouts. He went over 1,000 career strikeouts this season. He has a 2.4 ERA, 6.3 WAR at just, 25? Yeah, 25 years old. Did he win any awards this year? Yes, he got back-to-back Cy Youngs. That's his third Cy Young in 4 seasons, and he was an All-Star. So already 3 Cy Youngs for Paul Skenes at 25 years old. Jared Jones, very, very good season for him. 11 wins, 178 innings, 134 strikeouts, a 3.53 ERA, 2.2 WAR. That's what we love to see. Progressed up to an 84. Bubba Chandler, with his first, decent season, 149 innings, 134 strikeouts, a 4.10 ERA. The whip is still really high, only 0.2 WAR, but, I don't hate this as much as I have the past few seasons. Braxton Ashcraft, pretty much the same thing. Pretty similar stats to Bubba Chandler there. He did have 1.5 WAR, so he did pretty good. And then Aaron Savali was a pretty good trade deadline pickup for us. 21 starts, 8-7 record, 134 innings, 81 strikeouts, 3.54 ERA, 0.8 WAR. Is he a free agent? No, so we're going to be paying him $14 million next year. He did progress from a 77 to a 78 at 32 years old. And then here's what the bullpen looked like. Gregory Soto was really, really good, even though he regressed from a 76 down to a 74 at 33 years old. Still had a very, very good season, 75 innings, 48 strikeouts, 2.88 ERA, 0.6 WAR. Ladzinski was good. Hunter Harvey, who we picked up in free agency, was not good. Went from a 75 to a 73. Had a 5.18 ERA. Not good to see there. Garrett Clevenger was a great free agency pickup, even though he regressed from an 87 down to an 83. Good grief at 33 years old. That's rough, but hey, 65 innings, a 2.63 ERA, 71 strikeouts. we're going to be paying him for a couple more years. That's a bit rough. Eric Lauer, not great, honestly. Like, that's not really that good, but he's cheap for a while. Dennis Santana continued to be freaking amazing. 55 saves, a 1.61 ERA, 1.7 WAR. He got reliever of the year for the second time in 3 seasons. He got his third All-Star appearance. He is dadgum phenomenal. League leaders, Paul Skenes led the league in strikeouts, ERA, and wins, so he gets the nice triple crown there. Dennis Santana led in saves, Paul Skenes led in pitching WAR, Jordan led in home runs, slugging percentage, and OPS. Nick Kurtz hit 51 homers. Jazz hits 48 homers with the Yanks. Good grief. Judge hits 44. He's down to a 96 overall, but he's almost at 500 career home runs at this point. We saw Taylor Ward there with 44 homers on the season, which is just insane. Awards on the year: Dennis Santana got Delivery Man, Paul Skenes got the Cy Young, and Jordan got Hank Aaron and NL MVP. Paul Skenes finished second in NL MVP voting, so it could have gone to 2 of the guys on our team. Jordan also finished third for the batting title. Jordan finished third for the batting title behind Acuna and Mookie. Did we get any gold gloves? I doubt it. We were awful defensively. We saw Jordan got a Silver Slugger. Alonso was third for it. Brandon Lau got one. Taylor Ward got a Silver Slugger. Brian Reynolds just outside of that. I do want to see how the guy we shipped out of town did. O'Neal Cruz up to an 87 overall from an 85. That power against lefties has gone up a lot. Played 159 games, 36 homers, 31 stolen bases, so a 30-30 season for him, 830 OPS, and 5.2 WAR. Has not been signed to an extension. Interesting. Okay, let's see. For the rotation or the playoffs, I think it's going to be Skenes, Jones, Savali, and then Chandler. But we will be facing the winner of the Atlanta-San Diego wild card, and it's going to be Atlanta. Game 1, we've got Paul Skenes on the bump against AJ Smith-Shawver here in the NLDS. We win that one 5-4. Now, Game 2, Jared Jones against Hurston Waldrop. We lose 2-0. Savali on the mound against Spencer Schwellenbach. We win 11-6. 1 game away from going to the NLCS. We got Bubba Chandler on the mound against Trevor Rogers, and we win it 4-0. There we go. All right, so now we'll be taking on the Dodgers in the NLCS. Paul Skenes against Yoshinobu Yamamoto in Game 1 in Los Angeles. We win 4-0. I want to see Skenes' box score. He went 8 innings, 2 hits, no earned, 13 Ks. Phenomenal. A beaut of a game from Paul Skenes. Now we got Jared Jones against Tyler Glasnow here in Game 2. We lose 6-2. Aaron Savali against Shohei Ohtani in Game 3. We win 3-2. Now Game 4, Bubba Chandler on the mound against Blake Snell. Can Bubba Chandler get us a 3-1 lead? He does, and it's 4-2 in Game 5. Skenes back on the bump against Yamamoto. We lose 9-4. Going back to Los Angeles for 2 more games. We got to win one of these. We got Jared Jones on the mound against Tyler Glasnow. We lose 3-2. So it's going to be Aaron Savali against Shohei Ohtani in Game 7 here. 2 best teams by far in the National League now going up against one another with a trip to the World Series on the line. Can we get things done so we don't get anything in the top of the first there? Still nothing going here. Savali gets out of a bases loaded jam there, and we get the first run on the board, an RBI single by Jordan Alvarez, and then Pete Alonso hits into a double play. Come on, we got to get something here as the guy gets thrown out at home, so it's still just 1-0. A solo shot by Alec Burleson ties it up here in the 4th. Man on second for Alvarez. He walks. Alonso strikes out. Lau strikes out as well. Oh, there we go. A double by Connor Griffin scores Taylor Ward. We're not able to get the other runner home. Are we going to throw Savali for one more? I think we go ahead and go to the pin here, and I think we're going to lean on Gregory Soto here with some lefties coming up. And there we go, a scoreless inning out of Gregory Soto, a nice leadoff double by Brian Reynolds. Can we get him home? And we don't. We strand the bases loaded there. We're going to throw Soto out one more inning, and it is a scoreless inning. Okay, we've got to get something going here. A 2-run shot by Riley Green gives us a 4-1 lead here in the top of the 8th. Huge. Now we're going to throw Garrett Clevenger out there in the 8th to try to get us to the 9th with the lead, and back-to-back walks, but he gets out of it without giving up a run. Now Brandon Lau, does we get any insurance? We don't. We're gonna throw Dennis Santana out there. A leadoff single by Matt Chapman, but Edmund Sosa hits into a double play, and now Will Smith is the final out, and there you have it. The Pittsburgh Pirates have won the NL pennant, and we're going to the World Series. We win it in 7 games. Aaron Savali with a masterful performance in Game 7. All right, here we go. World Series against the Mariners. We've got Paul Skenes on the bump against Brian Wu. We win it 6-1. Now we've got Jared Jones against George Kirby, who has an ERA of over 15 in these playoffs, and we lose it 2-1. Savali against Gilbert here in Game 3. We win 13-8. Offensive explosion there. Bubba Chandler against Brian Wu in Game 4. We are up 3-1 now. Paul Skenes with a chance to win us a World Series on the road in Seattle. And there we go. The Pittsburgh Pirates in just 3 seasons are World Series champs. Let's go see who got the awards. Connor Griffin gets World Series MVP, and then Riley Green gets playoff MVP. He was phenomenal in these playoffs. A 370 average, 3 homers, 10 RBIs. And then Connor Griffin in the World Series, a 421 average, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. Phenomenal. And we have won the first World Series for the Pirates in 49 years at this point now, which is just insane. Let's go ahead and go to the offseason. Let's do one more season just because I'd like to see how this team progresses a little bit more and see how we can do in one more year as Zach Wheeler retires. Also, Raisel Iglesias retires. Tim Anderson retires. And Salvador Perez goes into the Hall of Fame. Nice to see. Here's the free agent stuff. So Gregory Soto wants $6 million. What do I have to spend? Like, what do I have available? I don't think I have like a ton at my discretion. I'm going to tender the How much does Taylor Ward want? He wants just about at the qualifying offer. So I'm going to give him the qualifying offer. And then Soto, I'm probably going to let walk. Okay, so we pulled off a little trade to free up some money. We got Grant Taylor, who's a pretty good reliever for the White Sox. Had 39 saves this last year. Been really good the last couple of seasons for them. He's going to be a good reliever. I got rid of Braxton Ashcraft, who's going to be making about 15 mil after arbitration. He was an all right 5th starter for us, but whatever. And then Garrett Clevenger was really good last year, but 12 mil versus Grant Taylor's arbitration of like 5 mil, I think. Yeah, that's a lot better for us, and that's going to free up some money that we can use to go after some free agents. So let me go offer him some arbitration. So Taylor Ward left us to go sign with the Blue Jays. We're not going to be able to bring him back. Tyler O'Neill's here. He's somewhat interested. Also, O'Neil Cruz is here. I'm curious if he's interested in coming here at all. We're going to go to next week and see. Garrett Whitlock, it's now or never on him. 32, he's an 89 overall. He's a really good reliever. I mean, if we went 3 years, 13 mil, would we get him to come here and basically replace Clevenger? I think we're going to sign him. Yeah, we got him. Okay. Which that might hurt my chances of signing O'Neil Cruz back, actually. Hunter Brown goes to the Yankees. O'Neil Cruz has signed with the Rockies. Acuna goes to the Mets. Yeah, now basically my only options are... Bo Bichette's interested. No. Yeah, basically my only option for outfield at this point. I mean, we could try throwing Jordan out there, but then who's going to DH? We could try Johnny O'Reilly full-time out there. I mean, honestly, I'm not against that. He's a 78 overall at this point. Honestly, yeah, let's do that. We could upgrade at catcher with Ryan Jeffers, or we could get David Bednar in the pen. We could get Vinny Pasquantino. I mean, honestly, if we really wanted to, we could throw Jordan out in left, have Vinny be our DH. Or actually, we could let Pete Alonso DH. It looks like Vinny's not great at first base either. So we're going to throw a quick offer at Ryan Jeffers to see if we can get a slightly better catcher than Joey Bart. I know we signed Joey Bart to a deal. It wasn't for a lot of money, though, so I wouldn't mind him backing up. And there we go. So we get Ryan Jeffers. 3 years, 13.6 mil a year. So yeah, at this point, there's really not much more we can do. So I say we just simulate to next season and get things going. All right, lineup going into season 4. We got Brian Reynolds out and right leading off. Then Jordan is the DH again, hitting second. And then Brandon Lau at second, batting third. Pete Alonso at first, batting fourth. Riley Green out in center, bats fifth. Ryan Jeffers behind the plate, batting sixth. Connor Griffin at short, bats seventh. Johnny O'Reilly going to get to start the season in left, batting eighth. And then Nick Gonzalez at third, bats ninth. Everyone's in the same positions against lefties, but the lineup just changes a little bit. Riley Green moves down a bit. Ryan Jeffers moves up a bit. Rotation-wise, we got Skenes, Jones, Chandler, Savali, Savali. Seth Hernandez coming back. He was awful in his rookie year last year. Hopefully he does better this year. I do feel really good about how the bullpen looks this year. I feel really good about it. This is going to be the final season. We're ranked third in the league. Defense is bad. The speed isn't great, but everything else should be good. Let's start simulating and see how we do. All right, at the All-Star game here in season 4, let's go see if any of our guys made it this year. And Scooble's again starting. I don't see Skenes here, which is interesting. We do still have Dennis Santana, who's down to a 90 overall, but still pitching very, very well for us. So that's our only pitcher that made it this year. Jordan's here. He's still killing it. Absolutely raking at the plate. Vinny Pasquantino, who went to the Braves, is here. We looked at him in free agency. Anyone else here? No, so those are our only 2 All-Stars this year. At this point, we are 9.5 up in the Central. We're doing very, very well. So let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season and see how season 4 ends up. All right, end of season 4. We again won 107 games. This time we are the 1 seed in the National League. We won the Central by 16 games over the Brewers, 21 over the Cubs, who both got wild card spots. Let's go see how the lineup did. Connor Griffin moved into the leadoff spot. He went up from an 89 to a 93 overall. Played 139 games, 36 doubles, 23 homers, 25 stolen bases, a 773 OPS, 3.9 WAR on the season. Jordan, oh my gosh, 162 games, 40 doubles, 65 home runs. That's more than Judge's. Oh my god, 65s. He's at 377 career home runs now at 31. Yeah. Good, 65 home runs at a 1.117 OPS, puts up 10.4 WAR, wins back-to-back MVPs, Hank Aaron's, another All-Star appearance, another Silver Slugger, a batting title, and home run champion. Oh my gosh. What's his career WAR at this point? It's got to be high. It's at 50, and 10 of that is from this season. 65 home runs. Good grief. Riley Green was really, really good. Still at an 84 overall, but played 143 games, 26 doubles, 35 homers, 99 RBIs, a 924 OPS, 7.2 WAR out in center for us. Brandon Lau was phenomenal. 139 games, 42 home runs, 125 RBIs, 881 OPS, 5.4 WAR. Pete Alonso struggled. He did not play well. 31 homers still. He's over 400 career home runs, but only a 217 average, a 687 OPS. Actually had negative 1.2 WAR for us this year. Ryan Reynolds, what? Goes up to from an 87 to an 89 at 34 years old and hit 41 homers. Oh my gosh, 96 RBIs, 869 OPS, 2.5 WAR. Nick Gonzalez was crazy this year. He hit 20 homers for the first time in his career, 20 doubles, 12 triples, 21 homers at an 830 OPS. This offense was just insane. Johnny O'Reilly, his first big league full season, 20 doubles, 15 homers, 765 OPS. Ryan Jeffers as our catcher, he hit 30 bombs for us, had an 882 OPS. This offense is insane, man. Oh my gosh. Ooh, first rough season for Paul Skenes here as we look at the rotation. 192 innings, 218 strikeouts, but a 4.4 ERA. Still had 2.9 WAR, but at first, not great season for him. Jared Jones was bad. Bubba Chandler actually finally had a good season. 11 wins, 156 innings, 150 strikeouts, 3.39 ERA, 3.3 WAR. Aaron Savali was good. Seth Hernandez was not good. He's going to be in the pen for the playoffs. Bullpen was actually really, really good this year. Dennis Santana, again, puts up phenomenal numbers. 54 saves. He's now over 200 career saves, and he wins a 3rd Reliever of the Year award in 4 seasons. League leaders, Savali led in win percentage. Dennis Santana led in saves. Jordan led in basically everything. I think he got a Triple Crown this year. Yeah, he got the Triple Crown. Dennis Santana gets Delivery Man of the Year. Alvarez gets Hank Aaron and NL MVP and batting title and the Triple Crown. Yeah, crazy season statistically. Again, 65 homers is just insane. All right, we're going to be facing the Braves here in the NLDS. We've got Paul Skenes on the bump against Trevor Rogers here in game 1. We win it 4-1. Now, Jared Jones against Spencer Schwellenbach. We lose 5-2. Bubba Chandler against Spencer Strider. We win that one 4-2. Savali against Andrew Abbott to go to the NLCS. We lose. So now game 5, back to Skenes against Schwellenbach. And we win that. We will be moving on to face the Dodgers Dodgers. All right, so since Skenes went in game 5, we've got Jarrett Jones on the bump, who's not been good in these playoffs, against Ohtani. At home in Pittsburgh, we lose 4-2. Now Bubba Chandler against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We win that one 4-2, so we split the first two. Now going to LA for 3 games. We got Savali against Blake Snell. We win 8-7. Skenes back on the mound against Sasaki. We lose 17-4. Skenes 2/3 innings, 6 earned runs. Good grief. Jarrett Jones against Ohtani here in game 5. We win it 2-1, so we got one more game we got to win to go back to the World Series. Chandler against Yamamoto. We lose that one 6-2. Savali against Blake Snell to go to the World Series, and we win it, baby. Let's go. All right, going up against the Red Sox World Series here. We've got Skenes on the bump against Garrett Crochet in game 1. We lose 10-1. Good grief, Skenes. Jarrett Jones against Ranger Suarez in game 2. We win 8-2, so it's 1-1 going back to Boston. Bubba Chandler against Bray and Bella. We lose 5-2. Aaron Savale against Connolly Early. We lose 8-6. Paul Skenes back up against Garrett Crochet, and we lose 3-2. So that is how that's going to end. We lose in 5 to the Red Sox, but hey, we built a juggernaut of a team here. I mean, you look at this team, 5 guys that are 90 plus. Alvarez and Skenes are just going to continue to be incredibly dominant. Connor Griffin's a 94 overall at 22 years old. I mean, this is just a juggernaut of a team. If we kept going, we'd probably win 2 or 3 more World Series, I think. But I think we're going to leave it there. 4 seasons, I think, is good. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down in the comments who you want me to see build next. See you guys in the next video.